Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris here. Today I want to talk to you guys about a lens. Now you guys see all the cool content that I put out, all the cool videos that I put out. At least I think they're pretty cool. And you never really see what goes on behind the lens. Behind the lens. A big aspect of creating these cool, fast-moving, fast-paced, action-y, cool, or slow, cinematic-y automotive films are the lenses that we choose to create these videos with. I reached out and I'm working together with Laowa to give you guys this review, my honest thoughts, and how I use this lens in the real world. This is Laowa's Ranger Lite 16-30 full-frame lens. To be honest, Laowa did send me this lens to review and to play with and to mess with. However, I'm still going to give you guys my true, honest thoughts and opinions. This lens right here is a T2.9. It is 16-30 millimeters like we talked about on a full frame sensor. It comes in the PL mount that you guys can see I have here, and it also comes in a EF mount. This is the light version of the lens. It comes in at 26 ounces or about 1.6 pounds, which is extremely light. It's small, it's compact. It has a 77 front filter thread, so you can screw on your screw-on filters. This lens is extremely lightweight and is perfect for handheld shots or on gimbal. We actually did those two exact use case scenarios where we went and took this lens to the track and on the road. I want to show you guys exactly how I use this lens and not just go ahead and talk it up and blah, blah, blah. There are some good things, there are some bad things. I want to talk to you guys about both of those, but I'm going to go ahead and play some footage now where we took this lens to the track and when we took it to the road on gimbal and handheld, two of the most use case scenarios that we go through. And by we, I mean me. I'm the only one, I'm the only employee of this business. So the first place I wanted to take this wide lens to was the track. We took it with us to document the race team we've been following all year and to work in the tight quarters of their pits. Sometimes it's very hectic and you want to do your best to not get in the way. Having the ability to be able to zoom out to 16 millimeters, get wide, get the entire picture in your field of view and still be out of people's way in tight scenarios like this was awesome. Also, being able to zoom in and out of tire swaps while I'm keeping focus with the Parfocal zoom or doing crash zooms into the front of the car was a really cool, unique way to add a new perspective to these videos that sometimes tend to look a little bit repetitive race after race is unique and a great pro to owning this lens. From the pit, I took this lens around the rest of the day to grab some cool B-roll at the infamous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now this isn't a detriment to this lens, it is with wide angle lenses in general. I had a step up ring filter here and then an ND-CPL, and as you can see in some of this footage, it did add quite a vignette to the outside of this footage that we wound up cropping in anyway because of our widescreen aspect ratio we exported, but just something to keep in mind. At this track that we're at, there's an infield, and on this infield, there's another track within the infield that's not being used right now, it's being used for camping, and here are some rumble strips on the side that we're gonna use to mock the curbing on the track. So we're gonna take our 16-30 right here and do some mock shots here to make it look like it's the car going over the rumble strips on the track. We're gonna interlay this over the footage that we get of the cars actually going over them on track with this, and no one will ever be the wiser. So this lens is gonna be good for that because it's 16, it's gonna be nice and wide, and it can maintain with that Parfocal zoom our focus so I can get some cool creative shots. So let's have at it. Now, I am someone who lives and dies by zoom lenses. I am someone who is not a big fan of primes. Now, I get their place and time that they are made for and used for, but zooms are where it's at for me. But having something this small and compact in my bag that can shoot as wide as 16 millimeters or get as tight as 30, it's pretty clutch. One of the coolest aspects about this lens and my favorite feature is that it is parfocal. Now what that means is you can zoom into your subject, the car that's on the road, get your focus, and then zoom back out, and you will still have that same focus, that same sharpness holding throughout your entire zoom without having to refocus. That saves you a lot of time and spares you some headaches in refocusing your shots when you're on the go. So next, I did what we do best and put this lens on our red on our camera car, and we got some awesome cool rollers of our friend's Volkswagen R32. Balancing this lens on the gimbal was very easy because it is a very light lens. We attached our matte box, put a CPL and an ND in there, and we got off on the streets. We shot most of these around 4 to 5.6, I want to say, T4 to T5.6, just so we get more of the car in focus, and it made my job of operating a little bit easier. Now you can see in some of these scenarios here, the camera lens is zooming in and out to reframe the shot, get a different shot, and the focus is still holding thanks to that parfocal aspect of this lens. You'll also notice at some zoom ranges, I would get weird flaring with this lens. Now, I did have the matte box on there, so I assumed it would kill some of this flare, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll see some of this very, very strong flare stand out. That kind of not muddies the whole image, but kind of makes the entire image bright and super soft. And this was only happening at some focal lengths, I want to say towards the higher end of the range, maybe 20 to 30, somewhere in there. It wasn't really happening on the wides. Now, I'm a fan of wide lenses to begin with. I actually have Laowa's 12mm 0D lens as well. I love this wide perspective that this lens allows you to get, but this 16 to 30 is just a little bit more reasonable in the terms of the wide angle shots. This is obviously super wide angle. The 16 to 30 is a little bit more believable, if that makes sense. 16 makes the road look super awesome, super wide. Seeing all the trees go by, seeing the ground go by really helps sell that effect of speed when you're doing rollers. That's why a wide angle is great for rollers. It may distort the size of the car. I think a 24, 25, 20, somewhere between 24 and 28 mil, I think, is technically what you're supposed to use for car shots to make the car not look distorted. But for what we do, it doesn't really matter that much. And this 16 mil, having the lens at 16, all the way zoomed out, you get that huge sense of speed and things flying by the camera, which is amazing to have for doing what we do. I really don't have too many complaints with this lens. It's lightweight, it's great in the hand, it's great on gimbal. There is, however, the elephant in the room that this lens, in fact, this light one, is a little bit expensive, coming in at about $3,500. This really won't be for everybody because of its price, and I understand that. I understand a lot of you guys work with autofocus and enjoy autofocus, and hey, it's great. I won't knock autofocus. I got into it recently, and it's phenomenal. However, there are those scenarios where you want a different look to your lens other than a photo or a stills lens. There comes time where you want some more characteristics to your image, and I think that's exactly what this line of lenses does from Laowa. This Ranger series in particular, this 16 to 30, it does introduce a little bit more character and a little bit more look into your image that helps it set apart from everything else. Overall, this is a great lens. I truly love having this lens on the gimbal, having it be lightweight, being able to zoom in and out of my subject while I'm the only one operating the camera car. If it's a small one-man band type shoot, I'm able to just zoom in, get my focus, and then continue on with the shot. I can zoom in and out and not have to worry about refocusing. I can worry about just centering up my shot. So for the one-man band type deal, this lens with its parfocal zoom, perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick little thoughts and opinions. If you guys want to see more videos like this on different lenses or different tools and equipment that I use to make my videos happen, let me know in a comment down below. Again, this has been the Laowa Ranger full frame 16 to 30 T2.9 Cine Lens. Thank you, Laowa, and hopefully there's more to come with me and Laowa, and maybe some probe lenses or maybe some of their longer length lenses. Laowa, let's talk. Let's show the people some more cool footage.